Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown,
the unofficial sumo podcast
for official sumo fans. Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown, the unofficial sumo podcast for official sumo fans. This is Ryan.
This is Jake.
This is Fleric.
This is Mac.
And this is Grand Sumo Breakdown's first episode of 2024, and
Hooray!
It is our Hatsu 2024 preview. We are recording this episode Tuesday night, January 9th, so we still got 5 days until the start of the Basho, so we don't have all the news. We don't have the reports of who is definitely in, who is definitely out of the Basho, but we have some idea based on the training reports that we'll go through as the episode progresses.
Brief round of applause for the four of us for sticking with this. This is the 8th calendar year in which we have done a podcast.
Man.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Exactly.
We apologize to all our patrons that have been with us for so long, and thanks.
Absolutely. No question mark on that.
Yeah, well,
absolutely.
You're paying
Thanks, I
for this.
suppose.
Well, you're helping pay for this.
Jake, what's happening in the world of amateur sumo?
Oh, right. That is the next bullet point on the outline. You're right. Number
still
one.
Can't get 8 years, and we still can't get the transitions down.
I don't know. Maybe he had another joke or something. I don't
It's
know.
only
what
been
his
like 4 or
transition-
5 years of amateur sumo in our defense.
It's been like 2. Yeah, about
I said
2.
I
about
said
2.
like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. 2 is also an integer
falls
similar
within
to
range.
4. So you know what? Yeah. Okay. Number one most important thing in amateur sumo. Sorry, that's 2 fingers. That's too complicated.
There's
I
too many,
don't want
too
to
many.
mix things up here. Renew your USSF membership in January.
Oh.
Long political story, but if you want to work towards being involved in the USSF government or being able to vote for leadership, you need 3 consecutive years where you buy your membership at the beginning of the year and you participate in that year. It's all stupid, intentionally complicated. Feel free to reach out to us if you want help with it, but renew your membership in January. Otherwise, it doesn't count as continuous. Stupid reasons, like I said, but regardless, it's important to do it. So make sure you do that on ussumo.org. Effectively buy a new membership is how it works. Website isn't super clear on how it works either, but whatever. As far as actual sumo is going, the 2nd annual Kuma Sumo Bash is happening in Nashville on the 27th of January. That is the only youth-only sumo tournament on the continental United States. 2nd year they've been doing it. Very cool. We are super behind getting more youth sumo going, so please support that one. Other than that, coming up, we got the Mighty Eagle Team Tournament in San Antonio on the 10th of February. We got the SoCal Open coming up on the 24th of February in San Diego. Got an interview coming out on that one in the next couple days. But as always, we want you to go check out sumo411.com. That is the #1 place to find out where events are going on in amateur sumo. And last thing on amateur sumo, my newsletter's late. Holidays suck. My bad. I'm still working on it. We're getting there, though. Any day now.
You'll get 2 in February.
No, February will get done in March, but the December issue will get done in January. I swear. No, as always, the newsletter is going to be on our website. Go check it out on grandsumobreakdown.wordpress.com. It's primarily about amateur sumo, but also covers a little bit of pro stuff. Just kind of trying to keep everybody in the loop on what's going on. And message us if you want a hard copy of it, because we got these nice ones that we print off and sell for $10. So that's amateur sumo. What do we got next, Ryan?
As Mac alluded to, we do have a Patreon, and so all the funds that go into our Patreon go to improving the podcast and giving back to the fans. Like, we give away a free t-shirt every Basho based on our bold predictions, which the bold predictions is live on Twitter, or if you're a member of our Patreon and you have access to our Discord, you can put your prediction in there. If you're listening on YouTube and you want to comment on YouTube, feel free to put your bold prediction in there. We will check all of them at the end of the Basho. Our favorite, I'm not going to say the best prediction. I'm going to go with our favorite. It could be the most accurate prediction, or it could just tickle us in a certain way. But our favorite prediction that is somewhat accurate will win a free Grand Sumo Breakdown t-shirt. We also give back in the way of like the trading cards. I get a new box of trading cards after almost every Basho, and whatever duplicates I get, I first put them up to grabs for our patrons for no additional fee. So you can sign up at 2 different levels. There's the $1 friend of the show level that gets you a compliment upon sign up, and boy howdy do we have compliments galore this episode. And once during every Basho after sign up, and it also gets you access to the Grand Sumo Breakdown Discord server, and like I said, a chance at getting a trading card whenever I open up a new box. We also have a $3 BFF of the show that is everything in the $1 tier, plus the ability to ask us a question that we are honor bound to answer at some point in the future.
They will be answered. We just don't know when.
Once we opened up the Discord, they've piled up a little bit.
The floodgates kind of opened up a little bit there. So we've got a backup. We'll get to them. We'll
be chipping away at them.
We'll be chipping away.
We'll be chipping away. We can't get them all at once unless we want to have like a 3-hour episode. But I don't think we're quite ready for that tonight.
Oh God, no.
So without one more thing before we get to the compliments,
with a tiny bit more ado.
Yes, a little bit more ado. No need to sign up at all. We are more than happy to give you our sumo commentary free of charge, but any and all levels that anybody signs up to support the show is highly appreciated, and we're very thankful for everybody's support. With that being said, let's get to the compliments.
another order of magnitude or two before we'll be able to afford to do this as our day job. So for now, it's just for fun, just a beer money kind of thing, right?
Yes.
So yes, everything's appreciated. And specifically, I'm so happy that we have a new patron here, Ken Robinson. Thank you so much for joining. You are my champ pick for this next tournament.
Good choice.
Mm-hmm.
He was number 2.
We'll see how many
on
wins
my board.
he gets.
Unless Ken goes Kyujo.
He's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay healthy.
If he doesn't participate in this tournament, I think I'll pick a backup just in case.
All right, good call.
Fair. To Q Breezy, you are easily the most easy, breezy, beautiful patron.
Ryan.
All right.
Actually, I think we could use that. They dropped that slogan a few years ago.
Does that mean it's like public domain then or something? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know. We don't want to get slapped with a copyright again.
I'll talk to our lawyer real quick. You guys keep going.
All right. To Anna Bosnick, you're cooler than an excuse to get out of sumo practice. Which is very convenient, which I do enjoy, because we had a lot of snow a couple days after, which ended up being quite a lot of exercise. I'm glad I missed out.
I'm sorry, sumo practice was 2 days ago. Are you using today's snowstorm as an excuse that you didn't go to sumo practice?
No, I had something else going on, but
he had to rest up so he could shovel all the snow today.
I was about to say, we got a lot of snow here.
I'm sorry, you were saying something, Ryan?
Oh, I said you had to rest up on Sunday, so you couldn't go to the practice on Sunday, so that you had the energy to shovel all the 10 inches of snow today.
Yeah.
Yes.
The rest of us ruined our backs on Sunday and today.
Yep. Accurate.
To Giancarlo Montiero, if I had a vote, you'd have won the Golden Binky for Best New Patron.
To Zombie Mommy, I do not have a joke. I only have genuine admiration for you being the coolest sumo parent in amateur sumo.
Good one, Jake.
Nice.
What a knee slapper.
So funny.
Seriously, Kaylin, you are inspiring.
She's so nice to talk to. I've had so many fun conversations with her.
100%.
To Little Green Cicada, you are the only person in the world that could make me reconsider my deeply felt hatred and fear of large insects, particularly cicadas. Like, it's hard for me to even watch them on TV, literally, because it makes me uncomfortable. I hate them so much.
I thought it was praying mantises.
They're too
really
big.
cicadas.
They're too big for insects.
No, it's literally
just wrong.
it's any big bugs, but like cicadas are like the big ones that we really get in Iowa every year. Everything else is in like the Amazon, so I don't I theoretically fear them, but not like logistically fear them.
Every other bug is in the
Logistically, I'm
Amazon.
safe from bigger things than
Yeah.
cicadas.
All the other big bugs are in the Amazon rainforest, except for cicadas. They're here in Iowa, and I hate them and I fear them.
That must
Oh,
make
man.
watching any anime really tough when they have the cicada sound.
The summer
in every single
scenes.
feature scene.
I can listen to them, but I don't like them. But yeah, that's how much I appreciate you. I will reconsider that hatred and fear for you, little green cicada.
All right. For the highest marshal of Mott irregulars, I recognize no other high marshal of the Mott irregulars than you. None of the bowls, straw, stump, or sty could hold a candle to you.
Hopefully,
A
that
reference
makes sense
we
to you.
totally understood. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Didn't just
Totally.
Wikipedia what that
And
meant.
did not require any research.
Try to
Except
throw
for
something
adding that to my
made-
reading list. It sounds interesting. To Jerry Habraken. Thanks to Jerry of the House Habraken, the salt will throw. Yeah, it's a Dune reference. Bite me.
Oh,
I don't get
it was a Maslon reference.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry, that's a previous one. Not to you, Jerry.
we've
of House
moved on to
Habraken.
Dune. We've moved on to Dune references here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's that is a book series that if I wasn't so intimidated by it, I would totally jump into it.
Says the man who got me into Mistborn.
Yeah, I was gonna say, says the Brandon
Oh.
Sanderson guy.
Oh, that is easy eating candy compared to this. Apparently, this
Candy?
book series, they just drop you in the middle of somewhere and they just like figure it out kind of from there. They
Oh.
don't give they actually don't give like background or much
It's like an
history.
escape room. Okay,
That-
fun.
Yeah.
That does sound similar to Dune. Anyways, to our continuing patrons, thank you so much to King of Salt, my liege, Hunter Johns, TT Squish. I haven't noticed that one before. I love that.
That was great.
It's been
Heather
there for a while.
Jockins, Arthur, King of Kings, my liege, Ian Price, Rob Lunsford, Mark Burgess, Gretchen Anthony, Dylan O'Halloran, King of the Toads, my liege, Martha M, Argue a Bill, Daniel Roberts, Emo Dingo, T. Higgins, Zooclaw, Giuseppe Salico, Purple Cow, congrats on a successful 2023 in amateur sumo, Purple Cow, the Cow Puncher, oh no, we
Ooh.
put them next to each other.
Why did you do that?
I literally random selection and it just
I'm
randomly
sure.
Trying to
did
start
that.
a fight, man. Brenda Velasco.
Hey, Brenda.
I still have yet to have my Mawashi tied by the Mawashi guru that is
Mm.
Brenda Velasco. Elliot Chase, Huata, Baron, and Austin. You guys have forced open extra Sanyaku slots in my heart.
About 20 of them.
I was about to say, oh, that's a multi-chambered heart there.
That is an unwieldy Bansuke.
And before we get to prognosticating the Hatsu Basho, let's take a look back at the Kyushu Basho with a recap from our field correspondent, B.
Hey guys, B here with your Kyushu review shoe. Still waiting on the trademark application to go through on that one. So just like this year, out with the old, in with the new, and by new I mean Kirishima. I didn't think booking would be so hot for another Mongolian rope so soon, but I guess when you realize a Takakeisho Doyo Iri would look the same as like a hornswoggle trying to do the Orton pose, you would just fire a bit. I'm all for it. He's got big babyface energy. They haven't done him too dirty with the win-loss, so sure, let's see how this goes. Kyushu had plenty of good undercard stuff too. My personal favorite was Kotonowaka gradually starting to steal Yoshi's salt throwing gimmick, seeing it get a pop. The big league stare down thing with Hoshoryu was an interesting choice. I'm not sure if that was an attempt to make Hoshoryu a tweener or have him like start pulling the top Mongolian heel thing like his uncle. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of them reintroducing the time limit stop on what was possibly the most boring match in recent memory. I thought they'd be big on the giant guy, but that plus him getting crane lifted feels like late stage Big Show instead of early stage Kane. Oh, and the Tohakuryu Henka thing, great way to make sure nobody ever cheers him, honestly. Anyway, we'll see how the New Year's go. Oh, I heard you guys fantasy booking the Terror win and the Hakuho lifts his arm after he goes in Kirishima thing. Great. I'm into it. One adjustment though. After Hawk lifts Teru's arm, he's got to boot him for a pedigree into the clay before doing the arm pump scream again. Really add insult to injury. See you for Hatsu.
Hey, B, Leave the booking to the professionals. We don't pay you for a reason.
Honestly, I was going to say that was some of his best work. That was
Yeah, but it's just the audacity, really. That's what gets under my skin.
Ryan, you've already been established as the hater. Now come on.
Yeah,
Been long
B grew up
established
with
as a hater.
the exact era of wrestling that we did.
Yes. When he dropped the Hornswoggle reference, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. All right. So that was a lot more ado than normal, but just as a, just to cover our bases here, we wanted to start the new year off fresh and talk about everything that we do. But we appreciate everybody for sticking with us, for supporting our show. Ryan, you want to start us talking about
let's
actual sumo?
Let's
maybe?
do the main
sumo.
thing that we do, and that's talk about some GD sumo. Let's talk about our Yokozuna Terunofuji, who signs are maybe pointing towards competing. He has been training, as he says, with the intent to compete, but he's not committing to competing until right before the Torikumi is made. That's going to be a little bit of a theme we might see throughout this episode. But we do have some quotes from Terunofuji. So regarding his training, he says, "I'm always doing it in the mood of wanting to enter the Basho. I want to consider the way to get my body ready." And he said that if I go 100% right now, the pain runs through his back and that his knees are not a problem right now. So it looks like the problem issue is moving up the body of Terunofuji right now. It started in the knees, had a little bit in the hips, and right now it's up in the back. But he is training. He does intend to enter, but he's just got to kind of see how that pain goes during the training. We did have a YDC Soken, so a training in front of the Yokozuna Deliberation Council that occurred earlier today. And Terunofuji did compete in that. I believe his record was like 10-3 or something like that, with like a couple losses to Takakeisho and maybe one other one sprinkled in there. But he did compete there, so I think that's a very good sign.
So I have a comment there. So he says that the back is now, or the pain is now 100% through the back. Does that mean his knees are numb at this point?
Yeah.
That might be it.
Okay, yeah. So pain is like, okay, we're losing feeling. This is not good. Not good.
Turns out health is like it's a circle. So if you damage your knees so much, suddenly they're just invulnerably healthy.
It's like an energy overflow, damage it so much that it goes back to back down to zero, and you're
He
good
had
to go.
256 damage on his knees, so that's the exact same as zero, right?
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right, so Fleric, with that in mind, Terunofuji has not competed on the doyo since day 3 of the Nagoya Basho. He missed 2 consecutive tournaments after that. He's currently training, but he's still reporting some pain. What are your expectations for Terunofuji this Basho?
If he's healthy and he competes, to Yusho, 100%. If
he's not quite 100% healthy and he competes,
the pain travels to the shoulders at this point. The back is now numb.
Moving on up.
Yeah, it's so hard to say if he's not 100%. So it's even I think maybe like 95 or so %. I think he is probably still the favorite to win the entire thing. Part of that has to do with the current crop of who's been winning lately is all these Ozeki who are just kind of Yotsu specialists. They try to get onto the belt and do a nice kind of belt game. And Terunofuji is just hands above everyone else he goes against when doing that stuff. There's
Also
no one
literally in some
on
cases.
there's no one on the dohyo who is quite like him and who's good at that stuff as him. So if he's ready to compete, I think he's gonna best probably the best people on the dohyo. So I think he's favorite.
Jake, who would you say are some people that you would expect to be able to take some matches off of Terunofuji if he does compete this Basho?
I kind of like where Fleric was going with this. I honestly don't think there's a chance that I'll say if he competes on day 5 or so, boom, he's my favorite to win for sure. But if he gets there, yeah, obviously health is the only real thing here that we're talking about. But yeah, I mean he's historically had some issues with strong pushers. So yeah, I mean the easy answers there are Daisho, Takakeisho. I think
still
Abi's
up
gotten
there.
a couple wins off him. Yeah.
I'd be interested to see Terunofuji versus Go no Yama. I think that's the kind of
Ooh.
style that could give Teru problems. So it'd be interesting to see if Go no Yama could get a gold star win over Terunofuji.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that'd be awesome. He's another guy that, he's it seems like he's working his way into like that Daisho equivalent territory. Eventually he'll be that, second tier down from the best guys, pusher thruster. So maybe he's in that group as well. But yeah, I do think that we're having some trouble with Sumo.
I've got
Sumo
it up.
DB right now. Who are the top 4 Maegashira? Because those are probably the guys that Teru would face first.
Wakamoto Haru.
Mhm.
So Ura is likely day 1 as the Komusubi West. That's
Komusubi.
likely day 1 for Terunofuji. And I believe Ura's got a win over Terunofuji. But also Wakamoto Haru. Atami Fuji's Maegashira 1 West, but they would not face each other due to being in the same stable. Same as Midori Fuji at Maegashira 2
really?
East.
Okay.
So day 3 would look like Abi, day 4 Go no Yama, day 3 Hokuto Fuji.
Gotcha. So yeah, Abi, Go no Yama, even Hokuto Fuji is a pretty powerful thruster. So yeah, I think that's a really solid test in the first like 3-4 days to see if Terunofuji's up to it.
And once you get past that, you have guys like Tobizaru. I mean, Tobizaru's taken a match or 2 off of Terunofuji, and you've also got Nishikigi down at Maegashira 5 West due to
Who knows
Atami
if he's still a
Fuji.
god right now?
Well, yeah, but due to Atami Fuji and Midori Fuji both being unable to face Terunofuji, Nishikigi would likely face Terunofuji before he starts facing the rest of the Sanyaku. And the last time they fought, Nishikigi threw Terunofuji down quite decisively. So there's a lot of interesting matchups for Terunofuji, especially if he's not
Absolutely.
at full health.
Yeah. No, I do think that if he makes it through day 5 or so, yeah, you know what? No, I'll firmly say day 5. If he competes on day 5, he's my favorite to win the Yusho because that is his toughest handful of matches. Well, not toughest overall, but 5 very tough matches, regardless of who they grab from that section. And if he can make it through that, then yeah, he can. Then that means that he is healthy enough to be Terunofuji.
Yeah,
and that guy is the best guy in the world.
Yeah, I like how we're worried about all these Maegashira and not like Kirishima, who is going for Yokozuna promotion.
Yeah. Right. He's
if he
trying
gets
to go
far
for
enough
the
to
rope.
face him, then Terunofuji's in great shape. So like, yeah, I honestly, I feel like Kirishima, Hoshoryu, maybe even Takakeisho, I feel like have a very low chance to beat Terunofuji in this tournament. Because if Terunofuji's healthy enough to get that far, he's healthy enough to beat the crap out of those guys that he's beaten so many times.
Never lost to Kirishima, Hoshoryu, or has he even fought Kotonowaka? I don't know off the top of my head.
That was one I was kind of unsure about.
Let me find out real quick.
In the meantime, what do you got, Flair?
Yeah, and what we'll say with I think Terunofuji versus Takakeisho, never count Takakeisho out in that one.
Okay, fair.
And it sounded like that was the case during the YDC Soken, where Takakeisho was probably the one who got the most wins against the guy. Who knows who got the matches, but who he went against. But I think that does tell you can't count that guy out.
Real quick, he is 6-0 against Kotonowaka.
Just found that too. Right?
Yep. Sounds right. About what I would have guessed.
All right. So I want to get an answer from everybody before we move on to somebody else. What is more likely for Terunofuji this Basho? Kyujo mid Basho or not even showing up, or a Yusho? We'll start with Mac on this one.
I want a Yusho from him only because he has been absent so long, and I do want him to reestablish his dominance as, top of the food chain. So I'm going to go with Yusho. Come on, baby.
I'm
gonna pick with my heart.
I tend to agree with Mac. I feel like Terunofuji has been doing the practice matches. He showed up at the YDC Soken. He's been able to do that. I feel like he wants to compete. I feel like if he does compete, even at like, I'm going to go even lower at 80, 85%. I still think he's just head and shoulders above. I don't think he'll be able to do it 2 Basho in a row, but I think this is his first Basho back. I think he could pull off a Yusho here. So I think but is that more likely than Kyushu? I don't know, but that's what I'm going to say.
With my heart. Just go with your heart.
That's what I'm going to say.
Nope. You guys are nuts. Kyujo for sure.
Well,
You think
Jake is
so?
always
Jake,
on the
you're
pessimist
contradicting.
side of things.
All right. So you said more likely. Is this because you're playing the odds, or is this because this is what you think?
He's trying to make us put out hot takes here.
Oh, okay.
The
You're
meta
playing the
game.
hot take
What,
card. Okay,
what
makes
are we
sense.
if not a hot take generator?
We're like a lukewarm microwave of takes. I feel like sometimes we do okay.
Would the hot take be like not winning the U show but getting to day 15?
That would be the hottest of
Ooh.
takes.
Yeah, 9 and 6. That's what I'm
Yeah.
guessing.
Woo. No, I'm in the U show crowd. Granted, I think the fact that he's doing matches, I think that's a good sign.
Good sign.
I think last time he was like, I'm doing sumo exercises up to today, but he hasn't been doing too many matches. And I think the fact that he's actually doing matches and doing well, I think he's intending to enter the Basho.
Real quick, just to discuss the training in front of the YDC. He was indeed 10-3, 6-2 against Takakeisho, 2-0 against Kirishima, of course, and 2-1 against Daisho. So it's Daisho who got the other
Of
victory,
course, it's
I love
Daisho.
it.
which makes sense. That's that's a guy he's lost to multiple occasions.
It's his kryptonite.
Yeah, always raid that Daisho guy. Let's go.
All right, we'll move on to Kirishima. Yokozuna hopeful Kirishima coming off of a 13-2 Yusho, leaving no doubts in the mind of the YDC or the JSA. If he repeats that same performance this Basho, he will be promoted to Yokozuna for the Haru Basho. Looking at his training reports, it doesn't seem like he's quite doing the same volume of training that he did before Kyushu. Before Kyushu, he's doing like 30 to 40 matches a day in the week leading up to the Basho. He's been going about 20 per day, it seems like. And I even saw a report that some members of like the JSA or the media are like criticizing him for not going harder. But it sounds like sounds like he realized he might have tired himself out too much, and so he's holding it back a little bit. But the training that he's been doing, not against Terunofuji, sounds like he's doing pretty damn well in it. But he was favoring his right elbow at the YDC Soken today. Who knows how big of a deal that is? Hopefully not a very big one. So, Jake, can Kirishima go back-to-back and win this U-show?
I sure think he can. I'm not going to say it's likely. This is one of those where I think that I would probably pick him as my favorite to win. But if it's Kirishima versus the field is a huge favorite. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I would pick anybody over Kirishima. I've already established I am not on the Terunofuji train this tournament. I just think that train,
Unless he gets to day 5.
If he gets to day 5, then boom, we're in business. But yeah, if not, that's how it goes. But no, I think Kirishima absolutely can. I don't think the odds are great. But yeah, I didn't see it. You have a note here that he was favoring his elbow at the YDC Soken.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to have to see that before I stop believing. Similar to Terunofuji, I'm going to have to see him compete before I start believing again. So yeah, I don't know. Kirishima, probably my favorite. So I'll take him. I'll take him as my favorite. But again, I think that his odds are less than 50-50. But I think they're better than anybody else's odds.
I feel like he hasn't given us a whole lot of reason over this past year to doubt him. I mean, his win totals when healthy were 11, 12, 11. He did have 9-6 in his Basho where he came back from his injury, but I'm not sure if he was 100% healthy then. And then 13. So he's got 4 11 or more win Bashos this year, and we've seen 11's enough to win the Yusho. I don't know if 11's enough for a Yusho and Yokozuna. I think
if he hankas Atami Fuji just for
God,
poetry's sake,
a
they got
third straight Atami Fuji 11-4 June Yusho.
How insulting would that be?
It'd be beautiful.
Yeah,
Insulting.
they'd be like, that was a henka, but since you did to Atami Fuji, it's okay.
Precedent has been set that wins your Yusho. So
yeah.
All right, so let's go around the horn one more time. Fleric, Kirishima, Yokozuna in Haru or no?
He has to win the thing, right?
He's got a well, or he could have like a 14-1 Junyu show. I would assume that would be good
That
enough.
should be enough.
I don't think he's had a 14-1 one yet.
No, 13-2
right?
in Kyushu was
Mhm.
his best ever record.
Okay. And is this his first time injured? I think he had like some injury going into Aki, right? Or Albaki.
Yeah, he
had a back injury,
had
if
to
I
pull
remember
out a few days of the Aki Basho. He came back, but he ended up with a losing record. No, it was the Nagoya Basho he had to pull out of
Nagoya. Okay.
for a few days.
Okay. Just trying to get an idea of how he handles injuries. My heart is just saying no. It's probably not, because it's so hard to win a U show, let alone two in a row. And it sounds like his competition is probably going to be even stronger if Terunofuji is going to be competing. So, unfortunately, I think it's too hard to do with this current strength of people around him. It's not going to happen.
What say you, Mac?
To Flaric's counterpoint, with the competition that he's got around him, it hasn't really changed all that much. These are the same people that he's fought. The only difference, possibly, is Terunofuji. Now, I think Terunofuji represents a fantastic, marker for him. It's like, okay, can I actually beat this guy? So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say this is going to be Kirishima's challenge. If he can beat Terunofuji and manage a 14-1, I think we got a new rope.
Yeah, and the Terunofuji potential speed bump would be like a day 15 thing. They're the top two guys on the Bonsuke, so that'd be the final matchup of the final day. And it's a big coin toss if Terunofuji's going to make it that far.
Exactly.
One, he's got to enter the Basho. Two, he's got to make it past day 5. And then once he makes it past day 5, then it's an issue.
He's a lock.
He's a lock.
But for me, it's hard for me to see him going back-to-back 13 wins. I think it's much higher likelihood that he does it than I've ever felt Takakeisho had. But my gut is telling me no. I really want it. I think it could happen, but I'm like 60-40 on no, it's not going to happen this Basho.
There you go. Way to not let Mac's optimism and belief in Kirishima to sway you, Ryan.
I'm an optimist.
I believe, I don't believe more than I don't believe. But there is some belief.
We can't have good things in Sumo. All that has been used on those crazy storylines in the past.
Terunofuji and Tokushoryu. Those were the two nice things we got in Sumo.
Oh, Kiseno Sato, the whole
Kiseno Sato was good too.
That was
pre-podcast, so that is basically ancient history, and I'm pretty sure you can't prove to me happened.
Can't prove it even happened. Yeah,
exactly. Before GSP, era. But anyways, no, it's it's
Sumo's only like 10 years old, right?
Yeah, BGSP.
So, we need some sadness in our lives, and we had that with Takakeisho.
Yeah.
So we need a little bit more sprinkled in.
Last year was too positive.
Stuff.
We need to get back to the negativity this year.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, will Jake continue? Will it be negative or positive?
Of course, Jake's gonna say no.
Yeah. Actually,
Oh,
I'm still gonna say no.
I figured.
My 2024 New Year's resolution is to be consistent on any individual episode of the podcast. By the midway, who knows? But today, I've established I don't think Terunofuji is going to finish the Basho, and I think that Kirishima is less than 50-50 to win this one. So yes, if he doesn't win it, I don't think it's happening. So yeah, I'm sticking with no.
Right. I will be the optimist.
Hey, we need somebody to believe, Mac. Can't be all negativity in here. All right, let's move on to another Ozeki, and that is Takakeisho, who
Burn it. He's done. Sorry. Okay. All right. Got it out.
So he is still being bothered by that lingering neck injury that he's had for years and years at this point. He competed in his first practice matches at the YDC Soken this morning. He has foregone all other practice matches. He's just been doing sumo basics in his Heya. And once again, he went 2-6 against Terunofuji today, which isn't necessarily a sign of his condition. He was going up against the Yokozuna. But
if I went 2-6 against Terunofuji, I'd be like,
that'd be a big deal.
That's not the end of the world. I'm still doing okay.
Yeah.
I guess so. Like for Takakeisho, I'm sure it's similar.
Yeah, exactly. But I do have kind of a hot take on Takakeisho, and I just with the neck, it's just lingering on and on. I feel like 4 U shows all he is going to get. I don't think Takakeisho is going to U show again. That is my hot take.
Oh
Mm.
wow.
I just think that neck injury is going to be too much for him, and honestly, I'm wondering if like in the next 2 years we don't see him drop from Ozeki. And my guess is Takakeisho, if he drops from Ozeki, he probably retires as somebody who's been as successful as he has been. So I'm kind of thinking I'm a little pessimistic on Takakeisho right now. I still think he can 9-6, 10-5, but I think possibly his days of being able to get 12 wins, 13 wins might be behind him. I think this neck injury, it's only going to get worse unless he has significant time to sit out, which he doesn't as an Ozeki. So I just think we're going to see him slowly dwindle from here on out.
All right. I have a counterpoint to your hot take, Ryan.
Yeah.
I think just about 4 months ago,
Shut up.
he won a U show.
And how many wins was it? I
It-
specifically said 12 or 13 to avoid.
And what did he have to do to win that U
Okay.
show?
He got
Yeah,
12 wins. He did win a 12th match.
Oh, hush.
yeah, exactly. I appreciate that backup, Jake.
Yeah.
I got you.
So yeah, I guess the thing I'm saying, I know what you mean. It's definitely kind of feeling like my belief of him going Yokozuna is kind of been gone after that Kyushu. That 9-6 made me very sad. That was probably his best time, but he still has potential to do it.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that's a
It's
little
not
bit.
like
Oh yeah,
That's a little bit too hot take. I need a
a little too spicy
I
for
need-
Fleric.
yeah, a
But
little
that
too
makes
spicy. I need to
sense.
call that out a little bit. A little bit. You might. I think the general trajectory is correct, but like I think maybe a little bit too soon for the doom and gloom that is Takakeisho.
And I'd be more than happy to be proven wrong. That's just kind of my feeling on him coming off of last Basho, going into this Basho still.
You say
unable.
that's a hot take, but you know what else is hot is
Yeah.
a dumpster fire, which is what that take is. I think that Takakeisho, being somebody on the wrong side of 30, I feel like somebody on the right side of 30 has plenty of time to heal. I think that he's doing just fine. I think that
He's had 2 to 3 years to heal, and he hasn't.
let's see, how long between his second and third U show was almost 2 years. Even if that happens again, it's fine because he's 27. I don't disagree that maybe we've seen his peak, and yeah, maybe he's not going to be a Yokozuna, but he's still got like realistically. I mean, there are guys older than us that are still having good success in sumo, and we're old as hell. So like that means a lot. I think Takakeisho's fine. I agree with you. Like, yeah, he's had a bit of a slump, which is very silly.
We
considering
say
that,
coming off a year when he won 2 U show.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
But in
You're
that
just
year,
like-
he also had an
and-
0-15 and he had a 3-12. Yes, it's not perfect. I think he's fine though. It's like you giving up on Oho when he's like what 12 years old. Like, come on, give it a second. He's okay.
He still had a 9-6 last Basho.
Yeah.
I still did quite well.
As an Ozeki, yeah, like he's
Yeah.
fine.
Like I said, I could be very wrong. That's just kind of a thought that I had, and I wanted to present it and get good content out of you guys. All right.
I decline.
Yes.
Too late. I already got the content.
How
What
dare you
podcast do you
put your
think you're
opinion
on?
out there?
All right, let's move on. We've got one Ozeki run that's got a little bit of a heartbeat, and that belongs to Kotonowaka. He has 20 wins over his last 2 Basho, with 11 in the previous one in Kyushu. So he's looking at 12 or 13 wins for a possible promotion, forcing open a 4th Ozeki slot. How cool would that be? He has stated he is aiming for Ozeki. He wants that Shikona of Kotozakura. He wants to take, I believe, his grandfather's Shikona that he had when he was Ozeki. I don't know if his grandfather made it up to Yokozuna. I'll
I'll look it
Jake
up. You keep talking.
Jake can do some quick research on that. And he will be given the Shikona of Kotonozakura if he reaches Ozeki. So Mac, do you see Kotonowaka not necessarily getting 12 or 13 wins this Basho to get it this time, but do you see him taking another step towards Ozeki this Basho? And I would say another step's another double-digit winning Basho.
I have to admit, as much of a hype as you guys have put on Kotonowaka, I've acknowledged it, but I've never really looked at Kotonowaka. It's like, oh, he's there. He does good sumo. And I mean, you guys have always had good things to say about him. And yeah, no, he's fine. With this opportunity, actually looking into his records, I'm like, damn, boy can hang. So the fact that he can consistently go 9-6, 11-4, like, yeah, I definitely think this guy has what it takes to be the next Ozeki. However, his last 12 plus Basho was in 2021. So he's got, again,
and
it's
at the
there.
Magashira 11, right?
And when he was Magashira 11 when he got it. So now he's just got to prove that he can take that next step. I definitely think he's taking the right steps toward it. And I think this tournament is going to be another one of those on the long run. So yeah, I think this is going to be another step on the road to Ozeki, and I'm becoming a Kotonowaka fan. So yeah, right on.
Okay, here's the history. Kotonowaka's dad was also Kotonowaka, is currently Sado Gatake
Son of Kotonowaka.
Oyakase.
Yep.
No. What?
No, he said his dad was Kotonowaka, son of Kotonowaka, and the Kotonowakas before. Anyway, bad joke. Continue.
No, just two of them.
Oh, okay.
Shut up. So, no. So his dad is Kotonowaka, and his mother's father is Kotozakura. So he is the third generation, but it's not like a direct line.
Right.
But Kotozakura was Yokozuna, and he was also the guy in You Only Live Twice when James Bond goes to a sumo match. That's the other reason you might have heard that name. But yes, his grandfather, Kotozakura, did make Yokozuna. He was number 53.
Okay. And I did forget to consider, thank you for bringing it up, Jake, that Kotonowaka's father is Sado Gatake Oyakata and is like the head Shimpan. And so
which is why he gets such favorable treatment, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, he's just going to fix the matches for Kotonowaka so Kotonowaka gets the 12 or 13. Any close call, they're going to call Monoi and do it in Kotonowaka's favor. So easy for him. Easy Ozeki promotion this Basho.
I've been advised by our lawyers we should mention that is a inside joke because so many people make that statement unironically that we should call out that we are being ironic when we make that reference.
Yeah, good call having the lawyer on the other line.
Yep, we just got sued.
Damn it.
God, every time.
That Koto law firm is getting some power.
Hey, we need to go back to Chio, and Chio, damn it.
Why do you think we really have the Patreon? It's to pay our law fees.
Oh my God, are all the Chios gone from the top division?
Don't say that.
We have no more Chios. That's right. Do we have any Chios in Juryo? Chio Sakai. He is, and Chio Shoma. They are down in Juryo. So they are our last bastions of hope. Oh, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's still down there. He's 12.
Yeah.
Hang on, my boy.
All right. I can breathe again.
They're not as high-class lawyers as they once were, but they'll still get the job done.
Kokonoe Bea was like, they had like a stranglehold on the bottom of Maegashira for like so many years.
All right, let's talk about our remaining Rikishi in the Sanyaku ranks that we haven't touched on. We'll go through these fairly quickly. Fleric, is Takayasu coming off of back-to-back 10-win Bashos? Is he ready for a real run to reclaim the Ozeki rank now that he's back in the Sanyaku ranks?
So I kind of have a bit of a hot take. I think with this
fire up
with
the
his
microwave.
back injuries, I think his days of getting Ozeki or winning another. Wait, he never won the Yusho before. I think that's just past him. He is, I think maybe when he drops down from the Sekiwaka, he's probably going to retire because someone like him are just, what else did you say in your hot take, Ryan? I need some more details.
I said that
Takakeisho,
if he were to drop down from the Ozeki rank, he might retire as he had so much success at that rank and might not want to fight with such a lingering neck injury if he's not going to be Ozeki any longer.
and other flaming nonsense like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think once he drops from the dignified rank of Komusubi, he's probably just going to retire, knowing that.
Wow.
And yeah, I think his bright days are just done for. It's just not going to work out.
What is this world coming to when a man can't express his opinion? We're getting soft.
No.
No, too.
We're encouraged. This is good content, Ryan. This is conflict.
Yes.
This is proper narrative structure.
You
are clearly the
Jake,
antagonist.
what are the lawyers saying?
I'll just hold my opinions to myself. I apologize.
They're saying the takes are warm enough. We're doing good.
All right.
Ratings are through the roof.
Excellent.
Wait, are lawyers or talking to ratings people too? That's awesome.
The ratings lawyers are saying, yeah, sorry, there's a lot of crosstalk here.
Okay. No. But I guess Takayasu, it's kind of similar to that take. I just don't see it happening, especially with all the people around him. The fact that he said 2 10-win Bashos, that surprised me. I didn't realize he's doing so well. I hope he can. That would be amazing. Nothing would make me happier to see him do his like celebration of where he just kind of does that shrug with the salt. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly pantomime by Jake there. That's fantastic. And so I hope it happens.
Grunt.
I hope it happens, but my heart of hearts, I am the pessimist apparently this year going into Sumo stuff.
What happened to you, Blerick?
Meanwhile, I'm like Makuuchi 3 and he got 10 wins. That's the first step of an Ozeki run.
Absolutely not.
When he gets 14 and then 15.
Not if.
That's an Ozeki run right there.
If you do 14 and 15, I might grant you that. Let's get there first. All right.
Yeah.
I've made
give me some positivity, Mac, and something.
I'll give you some positivity.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mac, let's see if you can get positivity for this. How much longer can Daisho remain at the Sekiwake rank without rising or falling?
I would say that he has maintained it for 2 Basho longer than I thought he would actually do it. But he has made me a believer. I'm like, all right, I can't discount this guy, especially if Terunofuji's coming back, though that could cause him to rise because he usually gets a win off of Terunofuji. But anyway, with his current records, I'm like, I think he can do it again, at least. I want 1 solid year of him as a Sekiwake without rising or falling. I want 1 solid year out of him. So,
all right. So we need 2 more winning records out of Daisho.
Yep, I want 2 more records.
Full year.
Not too great. Not too great, but not too bad either. You can't go over 9. Stay at 9.
Really wants to give Takayumi a run for his money for like the most time as a Sanyaku without being an Ozeki.
Yeah,
before being an Ozeki. Yeah, I think Takayumi might have had the all-time record until he made Ozeki. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Daisho is he's clearly gunning for that like tier number 3 career role.
All right, and Jake, we haven't brought up Hoshoryu too much yet. In my mind, at least, the current Ozeki power rankings would be Kirishima, Hoshoryu, Takakeisho. For you, is that the correct order? Is Hoshoryu the clear number 2 Ozeki right now?
I think if I had to pick, I would agree with your order. I don't think it's clear, though. I think that I'm a little higher on Takakeisho and a little lower on Kirishima than you are, I think. So I feel like these 3 Ozeki are awfully close. But like I said, if gun to my head, if I had to pick an order, I would pick the same order as you. Hoshoryu, he's still a baby. He literally cannot rent a car. He's not old enough to rent a car if he came to the United States.
How old do you have to be to rent a car in the U.S.?
25,
26.
26.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's look that up.
Never
to rent a
knew that.
U-Haul, you have to be 26.
I learned that when my mother and father arrived in Iowa to pick me up for our road trip all the way to Arizona, and I was 24 years old.
Okay. And I was going to say, nobody in that story is even close to 24, 25 years old.
But they thought they were going to have another driver for the rest of the road trip, and they sure didn't.
I forgot that the past existed,
25.
and that story could have happened more than like 2 months ago.
That what?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, fine. All right, let's go back to your question. Yes,
Yes.
Moving on.
What are people's expectations for Hoshoryu this Basho? Are we thinking Yusho contender or just kind of 10, 11 wins? What are we thinking for Hoshoryu?
Solid. 9 to 11 is my expectation, I suppose.
Fair enough. That's about what I think. So.
I was about to say, yeah, I'd say, yeah.
Sorry, did I accidentally say what we were all thinking at the same time or something?
Yeah, hey, you summed it up.
All right. I'm getting a hotline too from your wife, Gabby. It's 25 to rent a car. So I think I was wrong.
Oh. Oops.
Did you like text her or something?
She probably can hear me. Because the cat's opened up my office door, and so that's still open. So she can probably hear
she just texted our full group chat.
Oh,
and said,
that's
25.
Oh, she did. I'm like, how did you?
She told all of us.
Yeah, no, totally, she did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent.
Hilarious. Thank you, Gabby.
Tell her I was right.
Jake was right. All right, let's move on. So we've got a couple of Rikshi that are going to be making their top division debut this Basho. The first one we're going to talk about is Shima Zuumi. He is joining his stablemate Ichi Yamamoto as the only two Sekitori from the Hanaregoma Beya. He is 27 years old, so he's a little bit on the older side of things for making his top division debut. But as we saw with Wakamoto Haru and a little bit with Chirano Umi so far, doesn't really matter. He could still make some damage in the top division. So how he got into sumo, after watching some live sumo action in his junior year of high school, he decided to join pro sumo at the age of 16 and joined sumo in Natsu of 2012. He fought for 9 years under his surname of Nakazono before being his current Shikona in 2021. It took him 4 years before he made it up to Makuuchi for the first time, which makes sense. He was basically recruited off the street in high school, so should take you a little bit of time to get up to Makuuchi level.
I guess I'll try it professionally.
Yeah, no kidding.
It sounded like he did a little bit of like light amateur sumo in school, but nothing like really serious.
Sure.
And then it would take him another 5.5 years after his Makuuchi debut before he made it up to the salaried ranks for the first time. He spent 2 years 8-7ing and 9-6ing his way up the Juryo Bansuke before finally, after 11 years and 70 bashos in Grand Sumo, making his top division debut. And he's also going to be changing his Mawashi color. He's been rocking the bright red in Juryo. He's going to be changing it to green to honor his former Oyakata, Wakashimazu, who had recruited him into sumo. So Wakashimazu was his former Oyakata under, I believe, Nishonoseki at one point. But he has since retired and now it's moved on to Hanaregoma.
Yeah, as far as style, expect him to be a pretty meat and potatoes, very heavily favored towards grappling kind of guy. He's fairly well-rounded. There isn't anything crazy in his stats, but yeah, he's very favored towards Yorikiri style wrestling.
All right. And then we have one more guy making his top division debut, a little bit more anticipated than Shima Zuumi. Nothing against you, Shima Zuumi, but Ono Sato is got a rocket strapped to his back, it seems like. So he is in the Nishonoseki stable, former Kisei no Sato. The only other Sekitori in that stable is Shirokuma, who is in Juryo, and he just changed his Shikona to Shirokuma for this Basho. He previously fought under Takahashi.
I think Shirokuma is Black Bear. That's awesome.
White.
White Bear.
Shiro is white.
White Bear? Okay.
Yes. He said that they changed it because people say he looks like he has lighter skin and
he looks like a polar bear?
Apparently.
Is that a polar bear or a sumo wrestler? I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'm just going to call it.
It worked
Let me
in
just
Tekken.
call it Shirokuma.
Yeah. So Ono Sato, 23 years old, and as opposed to Shima Zuumi, who debuted in Natsu of 2012, Ono Sato debuted in Natsu of 2023, and they are debuting in the top division at the same exact time. So Ono Sato, he made his Grand Sumo debut at Makuuchi 10 under the old Makuuchi Tsukedashi system. They recently changed it where all Makuuchi Tsukedashi are going to be entering at the bottom of Makuuchi at Makuuchi 60. So we're no longer going to see these Makuuchi 10s, Makuuchi 15s.
Just a quick fun fact here. All three of our wives are now arguing over car rental age laws in our group chat. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
That'll keep them
Yes.
occupied.
Yes.
I'll be honest, I'm gonna have a lot of trouble focusing because this is just as fun as podcasting.
Yeah. I have like
I'm
little
gonna-
notifications just bopping up in the corner of my screen. This
my
entire
gonna
phone
time.
do
is
my
now
best.
below my desk.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope.
But-
I
Gonna
Am I
can't.
do
the
my
only
best to leave the
professional
phone
here
down.
with my phone on silent and not within viewing distance?
It's under my desk now.
Yeah,
We're
probably.
fine.
Now, Mac, mine started there.
Oh, well, fine. fine.
Yeah. To give more context on Onosato, this is the Nakamura. He was highly anticipated before, and kind of Haku Oho. He was kind of like those two people kind of rocked it up. And Onosato, I think, actually might be the reason why the Makuuchi system kind of got changed, because
Oh,
because he famously like how like amateur sumo kind of works with this, I guess the Makuuchi Tsukidashi system worked in the past is like if you get like enough tournament wins in collegiate sumo, like when you're in college, or they had the thing if you go into like the corporate sumo and you do well there, you can also get like a really high ranking as well.
Yeah.
So
or amateur sumo, like world level amateur sumo, like the world
Mm.
championships or the world games, like those would all like kind of be equivalent, like different amateur titles that you rack up over your career.
Exactly. So they had like kind of a different ways for people to kind of have pathways into the sumo, kind of the sumo like system. But it seems like Nakamura Onosato, he was kind of a big deal in college from the sounds like. But it sounds like he didn't quite have like the 2 wins to get like the Makuuchi to 10 start, like I guess Haku Oho did. But so he went on, instead of like joining pro sumo right away, he went on to the corporate sumo to win a couple tournaments there. So he had a really good start. And so I think
Money
what
in
they
the bank
want to do
matches.
is, yeah, they want to get like these hot prospects from college into pro sumo as fast as possible, because there's no way this guy wasn't gonna go pro. So I think that's kind of why they changed the system where actually you can't do corporate sumo at all. It's like just collegiate and like you start from the bottom, but they also let like a couple of high school people to join in Sandame or somewhere around there too. So the system is kind of to close the corporate loophole, at least in my understanding of what went down, while also giving more opportunities for kids from high school to join in, like in a division as well.
So the corporate Yokozuna, I'm pretty sure was Haku Oho. I think.
was it?
Oh no, Sato. All of his were just like amateur.
I
like
swear it's the other
university
way
tournaments. I know Haku Oho had a corporate, was like corporate Yokozuna or something like that.
Okay,
The only one
might
I
have
know
to
for
do some
sure is
fact
that
checking.
Yeah, the only one I know for sure is that Onosato, when he still went by Nakamura, is the guy that came over to the U.S. in the 2022 World Games and kicked a whole bunch of butt there. He definitely holds a place in my heart because in doing so, he got to meet a whole bunch of our American amateur sumo friends. So there's like a 1 degree of separation kind of, cool connection to that guy. That's I feel like I'm gonna feel that forever. I'm always gonna be rooting for him, just because he's like, somebody that my friends are familiar with and have gotten to wrestle.
Per Haku Oho's Wikipedia page, by virtue of winning the All Japan Corporate Sumo Championship in September of
dang.
2022, and thus being named Corporate Yokozuna, he was eligible to enter professional sumo as Makuuchi Tsukedashi.
I appreciate
Eat
that
that,
live
Flerick.
fact check there. Yeah, I know. My rant has been kind of dampened because of that. Well, no, I guess this is the real thing then, because he was hot stuff while in college. He didn't have to go on to do stuff. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, Onosato. Yeah, Nakamura. That sounds right to me. He was the guy that had like the official International Sumo Federation, like world championship type of success, and that's where he made his name.
Yeah, that's a rant. I take it back. Haku Oho, he's just cheap trying to cheat the system. What's up with that?
Haku Oho's like still just fumbling around in Makuuchi. Like he barely even earned that Tsukedashi status. What's he doing still in Makuuchi a year later?
Exactly.
Recovering from shoulder surgery.
5 major titles in college is practically unheard of. Yeah, he would. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I got those two names mixed up.
That's
Yeah,
all
this
right.
guy was a beast, and there was a huge which stable he was going to join, and he ended up going with the Kishin Sato Nisho no Seki stable. So
People were afraid he would also join Miyagino stable.
Oh God!
They didn't want those two in the same stable not fighting against each other. So I think a lot of people were happy that he
The
chose
stranglehold
Nisho
that
no
stable
Seki.
could have had on the sumo world.
No kidding. All right.
indeed.
Getting back to it. So yes, he debuted at Makuuchi 10, the fourth ever to debut at Makuuchi 10, which required 2 amateur championships, and as we have gone over thoroughly, he won 5. He is the 11th ever Rikishi to become a Sekitori in just his 3rd career Basho, and he only spent 2 Basho in Juryo, 2 12-3 Bashos, which got him up to the top division in his 5th career Basho, which is just behind Hakuoho and Endo's record of 4 Basho to the top division. So absolute meteoric rise, and kind of expect the same from him in lower Maegashira ranks here. Hopefully, that'd be really cool. But yeah, so that is Ono Sato. As far as I could tell, Jake, have you done like the Kimarite analysis on Ono Sato?
He's wrestled like 11 times. Like, I don't know what you want from me. There's no statistics here that are worth anything. No, he's slightly more of a pusher than a grappler, but he's nothing, not enough data, and also nothing weird enough to warrant mention there. He's strong as hell, big guy, super good at sumo.
Yeah.
Who knew?
16 Oshidashi, 11 Yorikiri, and then 2 Hataki Komi. So I think those are the 3 most used Kimarite in that order. And then he's got one of a few others. But like Jake said, he's barely wrestled. So his list of Kimarite is not very extensive.
Watch his matches. If you're really intent on figuring out his style, watch the matches, because there's not enough data to like really determine what he means just from the numbers.
From what I've seen in Juryo, he runs at you. He's very big, and he forces you out of the ring pretty quickly. That's what happens.
That sounds like sumo.
Like I said, pretty good at the sumo wrestling.
Yep. All right. Let's go through some other quick hits. I know I said that I would have questions about all the remaining Sanyaku, and then I left out Ura, who is making his Komusubi debut. Anybody have grand thoughts on Ura? Because I'm a little
good to see him up here. I don't
Yeah.
expect him to go much higher, I guess.
Yeah.
It'll be fun while it lasts.
Let's just enjoy this. Let's just enjoy what we've got right now.
Yeah, Ura, Takayasu, Midori Fuji. I'm kind of like, let's enjoy the ride.
Just ride it out.
We have Gonoyama and Atami Fuji, a couple of newcomers to the top division that are both within the Joy. Atami Fuji is going to be at his highest career rank of Maegashira 1, Gonoyama at his highest career rank of Maegashira 3. Fleric, of these two, who do you think will have a better record, Gonoyama or Atami Fuji?
I feel like all eyes on Atami Fuji still. Like, this guy's doing pretty well, so I think my money's on that guy.
All right.
As much as I love the Gonoyama as a guy to just make you so angry, Ryan, I think my brain is telling me Atami Fuji.
All right. Mac, is that a realistic expectation for Atami Fuji in his Joy debut? We've seen Gonoyama within the Joy get a winning record. We have yet to see Atami Fuji face this level of competition throughout the entirety of a Basho. Is it realistic to expect a winning record out of Atami Fuji at this point?
What was his record last tournament?
11-4.
What was his record the tournament before?
11-4.
And the one before that?
I believe 11-4.
Indeed. So there's your answer. 11-4 is what we're going for.
Okay.
No, realistically, looking at where he's at, I see no reason why he can't do another 11-4. I mean, he has to watch for that tricky Takakeisho, but he's proven he can get at least a few wins off of the Ozeki. So I don't know why he can't continue the 11-4 streak.
I've got at least let's see, like 5 or 6 reasons he can't go 11-4.
Okay.
Terunofuji,
Get a list off their names. Yeah.
Hoshoryu, yeah. And then I just keep going down the Bonsuke until I hit a Tommy Fuji. Maybe skip Ura.
I'm going to continue my pessimism train. And yeah, I see a handful of reasons. And if starting at Maegashira 1 is a very different Torikumi list of matches than starting at Maegashira 8, where he started last time. I'm pessimistic, but at the same time, I definitely believe Atami Fuji is one of the top guys in this new generation. It's too soon to put the money on him right now.
He has win against Hoshoryu last tournament.
That's what I mean. He
Takakeishu.
proved he can actually beat an Ozeki.
Yeah.
He can. I just don't trust him to do it a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say how many times it actually happened.
You
but
said
it's
11.
Still 11-4.
What?
I said 11-4 record. It's not every single match is against an Ozeki.
Okay.
Your optimism, Mac, is off the charts.
Oh, I'm
Slowly
feeling
warming.
it tonight. I'm like, man, I will be that source of energy tonight.
Yeah.
Jake, we've got former Ozeki Asanoyama, who has hopefully recovered from the myriad of injuries that he suffered in the latter half of 2023. He is now currently sitting safely outside of the Joy, far away from those scary Ozeki and Yokozuna. At Maegashira 7, is Asanoyama a Yusho contender?
Yes.
Fair.
No preamble, no elaboration.
Hey,
just
we got
yes.
positivity out of Jake. Let's be happy and move
Fair.
on.
Oh, all right.
Do
fair,
not
fair.
look a gift podcaster in the mouth.
Yeah. He's got a rental car conversation to continue working in on.
I've got thoughts. No, health is the only question. If reports are good on his health, yeah, he's absolutely in the conversation. Similar to how Atami Fuji, we just said, starting at Maegashira 8, a lot better than starting at Maegashira 1. So exact vice versa situation for Asanoyama.
Yeah, and Asanoyama has been doing plenty of training matches, bit of mixed results in his training matches, but he is out there training as opposed to the last Basho where he wasn't training and showed up halfway through the Basho because his calf was torn off his bone or something like that.
Ow.
Yeah.
Just one of those things. All right, Mac, Rikishi between Maegashira 1 and Maegashira 4, any of them that you want to highlight that we haven't talked about yet?
How are we still feeling about Shodai? Still hot garbage? Has he returned to his place? What are we thinking?
Yeah, he's about where he belongs. He's probably going to get another losing record, drop out of the Joy, get a winning record, get back in the Joy, get a losing record, drop out of the Joy. I think that's about where we're at with Shodai right now.
And
Yeah,
while
sure.
I would agree with you, it's actually every other. He has winning record, lose, winning record, lose. And now he's in the lose record. So now I want to see if he can continue with that. And it was consistently a 6-9. He just apart from his 4-11 back in 2022, he would go 6-9, 6-9, 10-5, 6-9, 8-7. Now another 6-9. So I want to see a repeat of this process. I want another 6-9 from him just to continue on. There you go. Positive in a bad way. Good news in a bad way. Or bad news in a
I would say I think we're pretty likely to hit a 6-9 Shodai this Basho. If I had to choose a record for him, that would be the one.
That's
All right.
fair.
I'm taking a look at Rikishi between the ranks of Maegashira 5 to Maegashira 8. We've got Ichi Yamamoto is going to be at his career high ranking of Maegashira 7, coming off of his 11-4 Junyusho last Basho. Unfortunately, I think he's going to hit a similar wall that he did last time when he was up in this range at Maegashira 8. I think he had like a 4-11 record, and that knocked him right back down. I'm kind of expecting similar things for Ichi Yamamoto there. Shonan Naomi, be nice to see if he can break his little run of 7-8 records. Get a winning record, kind of keep pace with Gonoyama a little bit. And Nishikigi, we'll see which Nishikigi shows up. He should be right outside of the Joy range, the only exception being Terunofuji, who will have to fight him because he can't fight a couple of the other people there. So it'll be interesting to see how Nishikigi does not fighting like a Sanyaku schedule. Jake, Rikishi between the ranks of Maegashira 9 and 13.
Meisei. He's been in the upper division or the upper section of the division for a couple of years now. Curious if he can make that stick, if this is just a blip, or if it was just a blip that he did well. I expect that if he's healthy, he's going to do pretty good down here just based on his recent performance. So I expect him to get up much higher than 9 in the next tournament. Maegashira 9, I mean. Other big names, Mitakeumi and Tamawashi, they're like, what, 14 years difference in age, but they both seem like they're on the decline. Not literally. Mitakeumi's 31. Mitakeumi's 31, Tamawashi's 39. And yet they both seem on similar trajectories where they're like multi-time Yusho winners that are kind of on the way out. I don't know Mitakeumi's deal. Maybe it's just a bunch of small injuries, but it's depressing either way. So I don't know. Those are 2 names I'm watching in this range, see if they can stick around. And Meisei, I am a lot more optimistic that he can get over a short-term difficulty rather than, the big difficulty of just time. Yeah.
All right, Fleric, any Rixie between Maegashira 14 and 17 that are catching your eye?
There are actually a lot of kind of Rixie down here that are kind of with storylines that are catching me. Koto Shoho is back from Juryo. He had a 12 and 13 Yusho from Juryo, so it's a good chance he's probably gonna just tear it up one back up here. We had Ono Sato that we talked about. I talked about at length incorrectly before. I'm very curious how that young buck's gonna do. Bushozan is back. He was kind of a guy who just bounced in and got bounced right back out, but then he bounced back in, bounced back out. It looks like this is his 3rd time up. Like maybe he can make it stick. It's he apparently is too good for Juryo, so he might be there.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Aoyama, our favorite Rixie, is back in Makuuchi as he belongs. I am so happy. I think my pessimism is finally gone. I'm so happy
Because of Aoyama?
because of Aoyama. I think all is good, all is right in the Banzuke. He's gonna Kachi Koshi just so easily. It's gonna be great. I can't wait.
Really a shining star, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. And
All
he's
right,
in prime spot of the Tokushoryu to Yusho from the bottom of the Banzuke too. There's
happens.
non-zero chance. Non-zero
God.
chance.
That happens. I quit. Just flat out, I quit.
Can I get that in writing? Yep, lawyers want that in writing.
Okay, they want it. We need to get it notarized.
Sure. I'll get right on that. All right. We have exhausted the conversation that we're going to have about the top division. Let's see what's happening in the lower divisions. And I think the biggest headline is going to be Haku Oho, and he seems to be primed to make his return to sumo after missing the last 2 tournaments to fix a lingering shoulder issue that he has had. He has been doing practice matches with the intent to compete. The doctor has cleared him. He said the bone is not perfect yet, but if you think you can enter, it's okay to enter. And similar to Terunofuji, the final decision won't be made until the day before the Torikumi is released. So it's not a done deal that Haku Oho will be competing, but I think all the signs are looking very good. He's doing like 20 to 25 practice matches a day and winning like 1 or 2 or losing 1 or 2.
Oh,
So he's doing
winning 1 or
fine.
2.
I don't know how much he's going up against Sekitori, because I know one day he was fighting a bunch of like Makushita and Sandanme. So I don't know how much Sekitori matches he's had, but still.
I don't know if this unsettled any of you other guys, but it's definitely a translation artifact. But the
No,
bone
I
is
typed
not
that wrong.
the bone is not
Oh.
perfect yet.
Yeah.
That feels very like mad scientist to me.
Sorry, I didn't read that right. The bone is not perfect yet.
The bone is not perfect yet.
Like,
is that better, Jake?
I'm thinking like 2-inch thick, like crazy, like steampunk goggles, like frizzy hair and all that. Like the bone is not yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You get my vibe.
I was thinking Farnsworth. Oh my no.
And so Haku Oho, if he does compete this Basho, which please let's bring our Haku Oho back up to the top division. He is currently ranked Makuuchi 5, and 5 or more wins should see him back up to Juryo. 6 to be safe, so he's got a little bit of wiggle room being at Makuuchi 5, but hopefully 7-0 get blasted right up to Juryo. No reason to have any thoughts otherwise. Hey, he's undefeated in his Makuuchi career. Let's see if he can keep it up. Wakataka Kage. He struggled a little bit last Basho. 5-2, but for a former Yusho winner, that's struggling down in Makuuchi. But he's currently sitting at Makuuchi ones, 4 wins. He'll be up into Juryo. And then Enho, he is ranked Sandanme 83. He has sat out of the past 3 Bashos. And once again, he plans to train and will wait until the last moment before the Torikumi is released to decide if he is going to enter the Basho. So hopefully we'll also get wee baby Enho back wrestling after his serious neck injuries have kept him out for quite a while. And then just in other news, not on the dohyo, Azumaru retired in late December. I know we talked about that a bit on our award show. If you haven't listened to that, now you found out. And also go back, listen to the award show. That's a fun time. What are you doing?
It was a pretty good one. It was fun.
If you want to know what happened in 2023, listen to that. We'll tell you. Also, you can say goodbye to Kakuryu Oyakata and hello to Otowayama Oyakata. Kakuryu has split off from the Michinoku Beya, which is Kirishima's stable. So I wouldn't expect to see a drop off in Kirishima, but I know Kakuryu did take him under his wing and teach him a lot and force fed Kirishima to make him gain weight. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe there is some sort of drop off if Kakuryu's not there giving him constant tutelage. But he has opened his own stable after he received the Otowayama Kabu. So congrats to Kakuryu and having long-term stability in the JSA beyond his 5-year Yokozuna Kabu. And then also there was recently that massive earthquake that hit in Japan, and it has affected some of our Sekitori Rikishi's hometowns. Kageyaki from the Nanao city, Endo from Anamizu, Asanoyama from Toyama, Enho from Kanazawa. Sounds like everybody's families are safe, but definitely a bad situation over in Japan, and we wish the best for everybody in that area, and hopefully they can have a quick and speedy recovery of their towns and their cities and everything. It's just I couldn't imagine living in a place where earthquakes are like a daily, weekly occurrence. No, I know we have that on like the west coast of the United States, but it definitely seems worse in Japan. And then you also get like the tsunamis and stuff. It's awful.
Yeah.
No,
all right. We are going to take a quick break here. We will come back, update everybody, remind everybody where our GSB belt currently lands, and then we will make our champ chump predictions. If you enjoy the Grand Sumo Breakdown podcast, you can leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast listening service.
You can find us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search for Grand Sumo Breakdown.
Support the show on Patreon and check out our blog, grandsumobreakdown.wordpress.com.
If you have any questions, comments, or corrections, drop us a line at grandsumobreakdown@gmail.com or give us a call at 805-613-7866. That's 805-613-SUMO.
Also, watch us on YouTube.
Welcome back.
That's
so
on
when
you,
I
Ryan.
asked you, Jake,
That
if
was
you wanted
great.
to bring us back into the
Dare
episode,
you?
and you responded with "Nah." What am I supposed to think?
That was the most sarcastic tone anyone has said "nah" with since like the dawn of modern English.
All right,
Welcome
Jake,
back.
it's
You
your
ruined
show.
it again.
Take
You
it
ruined
away.
it again.
Take it away.
Welcome back. We're going to talk about the GSB belt. Just like at the top of the show, a quick reminder, if anybody's joining us for the first time, the GSB belt is a made-up title that we awarded to the very first match. The winner of the first match of Nagoya of 2021 is the current iteration.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's been a minute. So, Byakuen versus Shonan Zakura. That's right. Shonan Zakura was still wrestling when this one started. So the winner of that match was awarded the GSB belt. And since then, we've just been tracking it the winner of each match. So in the very next match, Mukai Nakano beat Byakuen and took the GSB belt. And then Kiryuko took the belt. And the belt, like every time somebody beats the guy who holds it, it moves on up. And we've been tracking it.
Byakuen also has retired.
Oh God. This belt is cursed.
Not from Sumo. Like he's 70 now. Like he's retired. No. But no, anyways, so like the winner takes the belt, and the idea is to follow the belt as like a way of like a fun tracking of the lower divisions as the belt makes its way all the way up. Eventually it's gonna hit the Yokozuna rank someday. We'll see how it goes. Allegedly. Our first one took like a year and a half. This one's on like 2.5 years. Yeah. And it just now, for the very first, making sure it's actually the first time. Yes, the very first time is in the Makuuchi division. Koto Shoho has carried the GSB belt up to his current rank of Maegashira 14. He won it in a playoff off Ono Sato, who would have otherwise carried it up. So yeah, very, very fun situation. We're kind of in the home stretch of this one. This is the second time we've done the GSB belt, and I'm excited to see if Koto Shoho can strategically lose matches to send the belt up super high this Basho.
Well, he can only strategically lose one match, and then it's up to the next guy to strategically lose another.
Then it's up to like Sadano Umi at Maegashira 10 to strategically lose to Kin Bozan at Maegashira 6, who's strategic. Yeah, exactly. So
now we'll
see how it goes. But we're in the top division after a bajillion million years, and it is pretty cool.
Yeah. So we'll move on to our Chump predictions. Each one of us will select one Rikishi as our champ, somebody we believe will do very good this Basho, and the better they do, the more points we get. We will also select a Chump, somebody who we believe will do very bad this Basho, and the worse they do, the more points we get. We do it in a snake draft style, with the loser of the last predictions picking first for the champ and the winner selecting last for the champ. Fleric, who is going to be picking first this Basho as the loser of the previous Basho's predictions?
Any guesses?
Who could it be?
Who could be picking? That is the question. As I stare at the Sponske, trying to figure out who I want my champ to be.
That'll be Fleric as our current reigning, defending, undisputed loser.
The GSB Chump, if you will.
Ooh, yeah. I like that. How have we not done that before?
Yeah, why don't we just call each other that? Because Yokozuna and Tsukebito is funnier.
Yeah, I was going to say that kind of has a bit.
Rather than
call
calling
you
each other
Chumps off air if you want. I have no problem with that.
I mean, I do already.
Yeah.
I mean, not to your faces, obviously.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Hey, and also, we have an exciting punishment from Fleric to be read this episode. Isn't that right, Tsukebito Fleric?
You're not reading the outline correctly. Because then you would know that unfortunately, no, not this episode. I was also cursed with holidays and sickness and good old fashioned procrastination. So
that's the one.
The true killer.
Yeah,
indeed. So it's going to be a later episode.
Silent killer.
TBD. You'll figure it out. So
it better be the recap episode. How about that?
At most, if not the midway.
Yeah.
Well, I say not the midway because not as many people listen to that because that one.
Yeah.
Are you giving people permission to skip one of our podcasts, Ryan?
Yeah. What's up with that, Ryan?
Shoot, no, I didn't I? No, everybody listen to the midway.
And we let
the midway
is
my
drive our bus
episode.
Yeah, I only listen to the midways.
Exactly.
It's very confusing.
Anyways, back to staring at this Banzuke while I try to figure out who I'm gonna pick. Because I could pick Terunofuji, but like he still has a possibility of pulling out. That is the issue. There's Kirishima, but he has that elbow issue. And at that point, I'm looking at Hoshoryu Takakeisho, and there is Daisho. I have to think about that one.
Sure do.
But no, realistically, I think only the top three are the ones I'm looking at. How Terunofuji do at the YDC Soken?
10-3.
All right. Don't fear me now, Terunofuji. I'm going with Terunofuji.
Dang it. I knew there was no way he was going to fall all the way down to 4.
Yeah, if you're the fourth one to pick a champ, you can just kind of like That's the perfect time to pick Terunofuji, because if he pulls out, you get a chance to pick somebody else. Yeah.
All right, Jake, as our runner-up loser last time, you have the next pick.
Let's I don't know. I'm trying to come up with some sort of expression similar to strapping a rocket to the back or whatever that we used earlier for him. Ono Sato.
Ooh,
Wow.
spicy. I like it.
It's clear now I am an Amazumo guy. I gotta stand up for my Amazumo fellow guys.
All right.
I also am terrified about the top of the Bansuke and how all of them could lose to all of each other.
Yes.
I was gonna say,
Not super feeling great about
Takayumi
it.
has a good career in amateur sumo. Miyogiryu had some good. He was in Makuuchi Tsuke Dashi. Why didn't you choose
but I have
Miyogiryu?
enough. I have enough canonical disappointment with them to not feel tempted. Ono Sato, he could be anything. Who knows?
I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna go with Kirishima. It's like if it's his opportunity for the rope, I better take advantage of it.
How did we let Mac get Kirishima? This is why Mac hasn't lost in over a year. You guys are just gifting him Kirishima at number 3.
See,
I don't blame you,
problem is-
Fleric. I don't blame you. You're a sweet, beautiful angel. You chose Terunofuji. I can't blame you. It's Jake I'm upset with.
I'm going to be honest. Our punishments are enough fun to do that, like, it's not all that, like, deterring anymore for me to, like, not just do the thing that's fun to do.
You're right. Miyogiri
Hey, Jake.
champ. I'm on it.
Hey, Jake,
Absolutely.
No.
want to do another punishment?
I might. Ono Sato might absolutely just
No,
I
I'm saying
think Fleric's
there's
wanting you
a-
to do
No.
his.
I think he's wanting
I
you to
have-
do his.
Yeah, I got
Oh.
some pre-work. I got some outlines, and I have an idea. If I just give that to you, since you enjoy it so much,
Don't do it,
I will
Jake.
gift this to you as a generous friend.
I'm
Fleric
not
is
willing
the
to do
only
it.
one we truly punish with work. Don't
right.
Yeah.
let him get out of this.
I obviously am going to say no, but I do have notes from when I thought I might lose. So maybe call me later.
Okay.
Anyways, Ryan, who is your champ?
Absolutely not Takakeisho.
Well, sure to you.
It's him or Kotonowaka for me.
Ah.
And for some reason, I'm being pulled to Kotonowaka. I have a belief. I have a
You
faith.
sure about
in
that?
him. I am. I'm going with Kotonowaka.
Okay.
Hey,
All right.
who had more wins last Basho? Kotonowaka or Hoshoryu?
I don't remember. Are you going to tell us?
Yeah, it was
I'm looking.
Kotonowaka. Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
thanks.
was like, wait, yeah, he's right.
But unfortunately, since it's a snake draft, that leaves me with the first chump pick. And I have
Mhm.
no idea. I've got a lot of bad options. I can tell you who I'm not going with. I'm not going with Atami Fuji. He's been doing well. He very high chance that he goes like 4-11, 5-10 in his Joy debut. But I also like him too much, so I ain't gonna do that. Same with Midori Fuji. I've really come around on him. I don't want to cheer against Midori Fuji. I'm not gonna do it.
It did not go well picking Midorifuji last Basho.
Yeah.
Just a heads up.
I could also go with like an older guy making his Makuuchi debut at 27 years old. I could go with Shimazu Umi, but that didn't really work with freaking Churano Umi last time. So by process of elimination, I'm going with a guy who has been up to the top division a couple of times before and has averaged 4 wins in those 2 Bashos. So I'm going with Bu Shozan as my chump.
But Ryan,
Yep.
this is his third time to try, like third time's the charm, right?
Hoping he's gonna Azumaryu it for a little while and not get a Kachikoshi until like his 10th trip up to the top division.
He was honestly my number one choice here. So
Good. I feel happy about that.
you've
As
caused me
he was
distress,
mine.
and we agree, which should make us both feel a little bit more intellectually satisfied. So I think that's a win for you and a loss
Take
for
it.
me.
I'll
Cool.
take it. And I think Mac muttered that was also his first choice.
Yeah,
for
he
chump.
was number 1 on my list. I was like, damn it. Oh, this sucks.
And
Oh.
for me,
This
he's
is a
also
crummy
not
Bonsuke
making
for picking
his
chumps.
top division debut, so I don't have to be like afraid of a special prize at 10 wins like I was terrified with Churano Umi last time.
Yeah.
This one's gonna hurt. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to pick him, but Terunofuji.
Really?
Ooh.
Not
You
him.
think he's done?
Yeah. It's like, sorry, baby. You're slipping way too far down, and I don't think you can
Okay.
recover.
All right. What about you, Jake?
I got it. I got to do it. I picked with my heart for my champ. I got to pick with my brain for my chump, which breaks my heart. I think Midori Fuji is way overranked right now.
Ooh.
As a
Curses.
fellow short guy, even though I'm sure he's probably like 5 inches taller than me. That hurts. That's
Yeah. It makes
that was
sense.
171 centimeters.
Every time that he has one winning record in the Joy out of like 6. He's got 1, 8, and 7.
5, 6.
But he's also got 7 and 8,
never
6
mind.
and 9, 4 and 11.
We're the same height then. So I don't know if that changes my opinion. No, I'm going with Midori Fuji. It can't keep working. He can't keep getting away with it. I appreciate it, but guys that short that don't have something else going for them are like Enho. It's just not going to last. Who you got, Flarik?
I don't know. You guys all took my choices,
This
just like I
Bonsuke
figured.
sucks.
This Bonsuke does suck.
Yeah, there's usually
legit-
at least. Go ahead, Ryan.
I was gonna say, like, legitimately some help for you, Flarik. One of the guys I was considering, Ichi Yamamoto, but I'm
I was
kind of
looking at him.
trying to. I try to avoid guys that are kind of on hot streaks ever since
Yeah.
Nishikigi got me.
Mhm.
And so Asanoyama coming off 11-4 is a reason that he scared me, but he's still at his career high rank, so it might not be a bad pick of Ichi Yamamoto there. Can Choda no Umi do it 2 Basho in a row?
Probably
Who
not.
knows? Aoyama still at the bottom of the Bonsuke.
That would break my heart, but I'm thinking about Aoyama. 8 and 7 barely gets back in Juryo. Back in the Makuuchi from Juryo.
Honestly, I'm
That's coming
shocked he wasn't your champ pick after the way you were talking about him.
He was the only hope keeping me going to this end of this episode. I don't know if I can do it. But it makes too much sense. It really does. Yeah, I'm going to go with Aoyama. As much as it hurts, this pains me.
All
He will
right.
be my chump.
Got it.
I'm also surprised I got him because he's kind of on paper a really good choice.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, there's like a lot of guys that feel right, but there's like no slam dunks.
exactly.
He's
Yeah.
one.
And you guys all picked, like, your 3 guys are 3 out of 4 when you look at like a chunk of the bottom. 3 of the bottom 4. Let me say it
We're
that
gonna
way.
have some high profile matches to start off this Basho.
Yeah,
for our
exactly.
chumps.
You guys are going to have some matches at the very beginning of the Basho that are going to be for bonus points for your chumps losing to each other.
Jake has kind of boxed himself out though, because his champ is at the bottom of the Bonsuke and doesn't really have a chance to gain bonus points, and his chump is at the top of the Bonsuke, far away from all of our chumps. So he's also lost a lot of opportunities for bonus points there as well.
Yep.
But also giving bonus points to other people.
Exactly.
True,
It
but
swings both ways.
This sword's got 2 edges, Ryan. Just saying.
one of the 3 of us
God,
is
I
going to be
don't,
getting
I don't
bonus
like
points.
rooting against Midori Fuji. That makes me feel awful.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like metagame. One of the 3 of Mac, Flarik, and I are going to be getting bonus points, whereas Jake is
Mhm.
likely to be getting none.
But
You
that can
actually-
work in his favor. Just
have-
constantly. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think Ryan's in the right here. The potential to get bonus points is good because we already have potential to get stuff. So
Yeah.
It should not have taken an hour and a half into this podcast for somebody to say Ryan's right.
oh my
Well,
God,
it
what
did.
have I
Moving
done?
on.
It's okay. We can.
Let's
we'll fix it
let's
in
move
post.
on. This is my
I already got the teacup
Aoyama
here.
has failed
I
me.
got the teacup here. Let's draw
right.
the punishment. Which, I wonder if this is the first time that we've had a punishment decided, or we've had a punishment presented. Flarik.
Nope. Last time Flarik had a punishment, it was read on the recap. instead of the
Yeah.
That'll do it. Anyways, our punishment for this Basho is the movie scene punishment.
All right.
So
It'd be tough to follow up the Council of El Rondai.
I
Yeah.
absolutely crushed that one.
That
So-
yeah, respect.
I got 10 different voice actors on like a couple weeks notice. No, but so the winner will decide a movie scene that the loser has to rewrite sumo themed and act out. So we'll see where that goes. I'm still partial to making somebody act out the when Harry met Sally orgasm faking scene. I feel like that's a banger no matter who has to do it. So I got that one in the chamber. But we've done what other scenes have we done? I think we did the Princess Bride.
Yep, we did the Princess Bride.
Poisoning
Pulp Fiction.
scene.
Yep. Pulp Fiction.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Didn't Ryan and I do? Maybe it was a commercial, but I thought we did a Goodfellas one at one point.
That was
was
when
a
we did
commercial.
commercials. Yeah.
Okay, that was a commercial.
Yeah.
That was
What
a
do you mean
really
I'm
good
chubby?
commercial.
That's
that
right.
was a fun one.
That was one of our best commercials.
Absolutely. Anyways, what else we got?
So typically, we would do our year-long predictions at this point on the Hatsu preview, but we've decided this year our year-long predictions deserve to stand alone. So we're going to be doing our own bonus episode for our year-long predictions, and that should be coming out before the start of the Hatsu Basho as well. So we're not going to do our year-long predictions right now. We're going to save that for its own bonus episode, give that the time that it deserves.
Right.
And this is also the part of the podcast where we probably start answering some of our Patreon questions, but it's already past 10 o'clock at night. We all got work in the morning. We've all had hard days of shoveling snow. So apologize, patrons, but we're going to skip our myriad of questions. But
we have your questions. I'm reading over the outline. We can see your questions.
Yes.
There are some fun ones. I think this probably just needs to be a bonus episode in the next month or so.
That also
works
might
too.
not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to talk about what are we most excited for this episode. Let's start with Fleric.
Oh, all eyes on Terunofuji with a side eye on Onosato. It's probably what going for me. I guess the Kirishima. Yeah, there's like a good number of plot lines, storylines going on.
We got some
this Basho.
storylines here.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. So yeah, but I think those are the big three: Terunofuji, Kirishima, and Onosato.
Yeah, I've got to agree with Fleric. I'll probably put the potential of new Yokozuna as my number one on that list. Hopefully Kirishima can get there. Also, put another side eye on Torunofuji. How does he do his first time in the Joy? Hopefully, like Max says, he can keep that string of 11 win Bashos going.
Make it 4.
If he does that for another 2 or 3, he'll be Ozeki. So, side
other
note,
than
it's gonna happen.
Probably not. But other than hoping that Torunofuji gets another 11-4, I'm excited to see forward progress with the GSB belting. Come on, baby. Get to Yokozuna.
Yeah.
Come on.
There's potential. They lose to the correct people.
Strategic loss. Yeah. No, I think I will sum up what I'm most excited for with the phrase new blood. So there's 3 different tiers of that. On the bottom tier, Onosato. Amateur sumo, I'm rooting for him 100%. Next up, Torunofuji and Gonoyama at the top of Maegashira. New blood there. That looking good for both of them. I hope they can make it stick at their career highest rank. And then, of course, Kirishima, new blood at Yokozuna. That would be banging. That would be incredible. So yeah, I'm looking forward to those things. With the overarching theme of new blood, mixing up our tiers, getting new names into our different like levels of attention. You know what I mean?
New year, new blood, new names, new ranks. Let's make it happen.
Boom.
All right. So that is going to wrap up our Hatsu preview. This Basho is going to be beginning as late as it possibly can on Sunday, January 14th. Before the start of the Basho, once again, you can look forward to getting our year-long predictions as its own bonus episode. So thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown. Until next time, throw your salt high and keep moving forward.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown. Until next time,
Throw your salt high.
And keep moving forward.